of 1998 was a great one. Not only because it marked the first year the world was graced with my presence, but also because the Formula 1 season was great as well. There were new groove tires introduced to try and make the car slower, which didn't work at all. Ferrari and McLaren battled to become the new dominant force in the sport after Williams shit the bed with the departure of Adrian Newey. And I'm already talking too much. Chris reviewed the whole season too, go take a look later. Going into the Belgian Grand Prix, McLaren were leading both the Constructor and Drivers' Championships, with Mika Häkkinen on the top of the former ahead of Michael Schumacher. During practice, Jacques Villeneuve lost it in Haidilon, but unfortunately he was okay. On the next day, Mika Salo then crashed on the same corner during qualifying, serving as a no what would come next during the race. And to compound all of that, during race day, it was raining the absolute piss down from the sky. The grid was Häkkinen, Coulthard, Hill, Michael Schumacher, Irvine, and Villeneuve. Curiously, there doesn't seem to be anyone in 20th place. It's just blank, like they skipped it for some reason. I could have just left this crash in the intro and say nothing else about it, if not for the fact that he did the exact same thing the year after. 1998, when cardboard cutouts made for stunning graphics. What else did you expect from Ubisoft? Oh my god, this is such bullshit, it follows me wherever I go! Boogity boogity boogity, let's go racing boys! The 1988 Belgian Grand Prix is go, and Villeneuve jumps into second taking advantage of Coulthard's laps, while Hill and Michael Schumacher drop to the back with awful starts as well. And then... well, you know what's coming. Why is Barrichello talking to himself? That crash must have done a heavy number on his head. So obviously, the race is red flagged while the marshals clean out the pieces and then the shaking vac to put the freshness back on the track. Unfortunately, 3 other drivers will be unable to make the restart due to injuries and lack of spare cars. To them we must say, tough luck, compadres. Okay, let's try this again. The 1988 Belgian Grand Prix is go, and Hill pulls an absolute belter and takes the lead from Häkkinen, who gets spun around by Michael Schumacher coming after La Source, and gets hit again by an out-of-control Herbert, putting both drivers out of the race. The Tifosi worldwide rejoice at the beautiful scenes, and Michael Schumacher fans turn into rabid dogs. And to make matters worse, Coulthard and Verse collide and go off the track. However, David manages to make it back in last place. That must have been a terrible day for McLaren fans. Imagine how they feel now. Poor bastards, I almost feel pity for them. And then we got a safety car because of fucking course we need one. Tractor! Come on!
But the difference this time is that it's driven by a world champion, the world champion of 1994, Damon Hill.
Might want to skip a couple of years forward for that, Murray. Look at that, a Sauber in 4th place. God, the winners must have really sucked. The safety car promptly comes in at the end of the second lap and the racing continues. So Villeneuve passed Alesi shortly after the safety car came back. But somehow Frentzen now shows up in 4th. What is this, the Parent Trap? Ah, this explains everything. Jacques Villeneuve sucks. I'm not exactly the biggest Michael Schumacher fan, but I am a Ferrari fan, so... yay. Jos Verstappen goes out with a blown engine, the only type of fire his family would spit throughout the next 5 years.
Now, I'll tell you this, Eddie Irvine is catching Damon Hill as well. Damon Hill's not fighting for first now, he's going to be fighting for second, and off goes Schumacher!
No, it's Irvine, it's Irvine.
You had to say it, Murray. But then again, all I see in Irvine is near disaster gazing down upon you and me. And now Takagi loses it at La Source. As the old saying goes, the little ones just keep dropping like flies. Here we see the most pathetic excuse for a racing driver in the history of Formula 1 passing Esteban Tuero. Frentzen thinks I'm not gonna notice when he runs off the track. Poor man. I just wanna ride my motorcycle. Cool. Villeneuve finally manages to get lost in the void. And Frentzen believes he can fly. No llores por mi Argentina. En un año no me recordarás. The Arrows livery looks slick, but it's as dark as its future. Just in case you didn't get why I used the Silent Hill theme in the intro, this is why. It's always the same shit with these back markers. One of these days they'll end up killing someone, or even worse, they'll take out the leader of the race.
Although Eddie Irvine says, and I don't doubt his word, he says, I'm as good as anybody out there except Michael Schumacher, and nobody is as good as him.
Now this is the kind of second driver every team wants, the kind that buries themselves. About to be lapped by their biggest rival. Just the state of McLaren today. Oh! Oh! Did that just happen? Did that just happen? He's in front of Michael Schumacher! David Coulthard, you fucking legend!
Wow, what an incredible development.
That's a big fat fucking understatement, Murray! And the madman goes back to the pits, free wheels and all. Gilles Villeneuve, eat your heart out. Fight! 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 Aww. Anyway, those shenanigans now mean that Damon Hill in the Jordan is now leading the race. And his teammate Ralf Schumacher is right behind him. Yep. Okay. Not gonna go crazy. I'm not gonna get angry. I'm not gonna scream. This happens all the time. I'll keep it cool. Fuck. This race is a full-on bottle factory. Dropping more fire than a Kurbel comes Giancarlo Fisichella. There's making the same passes in the same race, but this is the first time I've seen someone have the same crash in the same race. These fuckers are never gonna learn. What are they doing? Why the hell is he wearing shorts in the rain? He's actually going for it. If this means I can see McLaren failing again, I'm all for it.
So, safety car still out. Damon Hill leads. Michael Schumacher showing every sign of being prepared to dive past.
This race is trying to pull twin magic on me again. What the fuck? Drivers pretending to be other drivers, cars coming back from the dead. I think we might actually be in Silent Hill. And the Formula 1 racing returns after forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. You're smiling now. Just wait 10 more years. Some red cars have all the luck. No, Ron. That's not how you calm someone down. You gotta go easy. Give them some chamomile tea. And rub their shoulders. Don't beat on them like a hunk of meat. The Hornets swarmed the pit wall in anticipation of their conquest. And in the end, Damon Hill wins the 1998 Belgian Grand Prix with Ralf Schumacher in second, John Alesi in third, Heinz-Harald Frentzen in fourth, Pedro Paulo Diniz do Brasil in fifth place, and Jarno Trulli in sixth. And after all the trouble of going out again, Coulthard got no points, so I got exactly what I wanted. We even got two stupid cunts with a death wish to cap it all off. And Ron Dennis called Eddie Jordan the village idiot. I don't think I need to say much about this race. It's great. You should definitely watch it when you can. There's a bit of tight racing at the end that I kept off, but it's really good. I kept it off really because I couldn't really say anything about it. And yeah, this is another one of those races that you can stop asking for as well. So thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you on the next race.